You guys remember that clip? We'll do it. Bill O'Reilly freaking out. That's how I feel now when I'm filming these, is like, this is my third time at this intro, and I'm like, whatever, dude. Fuck it. We'll do it live. And also, sorry, we had a bit of a hiatus, didn't we? A couple of weeks. Last week, there was so much shit going on. It flew by, and I didn't even realize till Saturday I was sitting around, I'm like, oh, I didn't even do an episode this week. So to the followers, to the listeners, to the children, to the people of the world and the planet, I officially issue this apology. Straight from my heart to your heart, straight from our hearts together, that I solemnly swear I will not miss. I'm going to put my hand on my chest. I'm doing this right now. I solemnly swear I will not miss another week. It's not fair, but I'm sorry. Okay, we had a lot of stuff going on. We got a new puppy. I've almost been in 2 car accidents. There's a lot to unpack. But first of all, before I even get into that, thank you to everyone who came to my shows last week in Lethbridge at Good Times Comedy Club. And boy, it was a good time. It was fun. Those guys have done a fantastic job with that club. It's come a long way. You know, I first did that comedy club like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago. And it was, let's just say, sparsely attended. And this weekend we had packed shows both nights. And it's a cool little spot because you only really need 50 people in that room. It's tight, and it's got the low ceiling. It's everything that you want for comedy, and you just get 50 people in there, and it was rocking. So shout out to Lethbridge. Thank you guys for coming out. That was really fun. It's nice to be back on the road again. It's nice, you know. It's not as much traveling as I want to do yet, but it's nice again to get, finally, I feel like I'm getting back in the routine of being gone on the weekend and traveling and finally getting to do stand-up again. So we'll hope the momentum continues. And also, shout out to those guys that run the club too, because I can tell you, you know, especially when there is a hotel or something that has a regular booking for comedy, a lot of times what they'll do is they'll purposely put the comics in the shittiest room, right? And I don't think it's purposely to be vindictive, but they will give you the absolute shit room because they know it's a standing booking. So they will pick the room that they can't rent out. It's the one that's probably has the most murders, if not the second most murders in it. And you can tell, this is how you know it's going to be the shit room, is because when you get off an elevator, you know, in some hotels, and it's like, you know, let's say your room 567 or something like that. And you look, and it has the sign, and you look, and it's like, you know, 508 to 532, you go left. Then there's this weird gap where if you're 535, you're completely fucked because there's no sign for it. You'll never find that room. And then on the other side, it says, you know, rooms 536 to 567, go right. If your room is on the very end, it's the last number, that's how you know it's usually a piece of shit. That's how you know. I remember there's one specifically. There's a Ramada. Dude, I swear to God, I think this was the Ramada in Ramada in Regina. They give me this fucking room, and it's right at the end of the hallway, and it's like it's so far down, like it almost looks like there wasn't supposed to be a room there, and then as they were just putting the roof on the hotel, as they were just completing it, someone read, they're like, ah, shit. We're one room short of the contract. So kick a hole in the wall, and then right next to the pipes, we'll just put like a bed into it. Like, I can't even explain. The door wasn't even the same color as the other doors in the hotel. And that's how you know, is they have these wonky, one-off, weird-ass rooms, and they'll always give it to the comics, right? So this past weekend in Lethbridge, again, I get off the elevator. The room is like I said, it is the last number on the sign. So right away I'm going, this is it. Here we go again. What is it going to look like this time? Honest, sometimes I've stayed in rooms that are so shitty that I open the refrigerator just out of curiosity to see how many human pieces are going to be in it. Just to see, what do we got? A hand? Could we have a whole head? I swear to God, I opened a refrigerator one time, which, by the way, is so fucking gross. If you really think about that, like, there's something to me. The microwave I'm okay with. There's something to me about having a refrigerator in a hotel room that doesn't. First of all, who's even bringing things that need to be like? Do you check into a hotel and you're like, first thing, let's get this chicken unpacked. Okay, kids, before we go to the pool, everyone get your yogurt out of the car, and let's put the chicken in. Thank God. Let's hope they have a deep freeze in there. Like, why is there a fridge in a hotel room? I've never understood that. And by the way, it's not necessarily like, it's a Gucci room where you're like, oh, this thing has everything. That's why it has a fridge. It's like, I've stayed in ones where it's the bed. The bed looks like they sewed it together from wheat that collected around the outside of the hotel in a windstorm. And you can see stains of past murders on the roof. And then they got a fridge. There's nothing scarier than open that shit up. It's just gross. I don't know what it is. There's just something about that appliance. I don't want to be sharing fridges. Now, the bed, I'll sleep in the same bed. I'll sleep in the same bed as the 1,000 people before me that stayed at that hotel, but not the fridge. I can tell you I've never one time used a hotel fridge. Okay? And that's part of it. If I run for prime minister, that's going to be part of my platform. Get the fridges out. In fact, replace the fridges with shit that people can actually use. Everything should have a microwave. I like that. And maybe just a little air fryer. Huh? If you really want to get people back, you really want to get the 5-star reviews, maybe just a little air fryer. Okay? So anyway, I get Lethbridge. I've got the room at the end of the hallway. So I'm bracing, right? But I'm ready. I'm pretty low maintenance. I don't need a fancy room. But it is nice if it doesn't smell like a million old. You know those, if you've ever been in a hotel where it's non-smoking, they all are now, but it was smoked in so long that the smell never leaves because it had 40 years of just, grandma's chain smoking. And I don't know why it's a grandma, but why not? It's my example. It is who I want it to be, okay? So I get to the end of the hallway. Now I open up this room and I doth, as Shakespeare would say, I doth not believe mine eyes. I open this room, and first of all, I mean, dude, it's the size of a football field. It's the size of a fucking football field. Okay? It's huge. It's huge. Like a huge open gap in the middle, which right away, again, because I have post-hotel room stress disorder, as soon as I see the open gap, I go, yep, this is the weird room. It's not even shaped correctly. This is going to be, let's figure out what this dumpster is going to be like. And then I get in. What do I see? I look to my right and I see a jacuzzi. What? I see a jacuzzi? Unbelievable. And then I look, just when I think it can't get any more lit, as the kids would say, I look over in the corner and it's got a fucking fireplace, baby. We're balling. Sorry, I didn't mean to yell into the mic, but we're balling, dude. That's how you know you made it. When you're in Lethbridge, Alberta, and you got a jacuzzi in your room, and you got a fireplace, we made it. We made it. That's the nicest hotel room in Lethbridge. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. At least top 3. At least top 3. I couldn't believe it. I have never once in my life been in a room that had a jacuzzi in it. Actually, maybe one time. But that was for like my birthday, not just a regular stand-up comedy weekend. So shout out to those guys for putting the comics up in the Gucci room, dude. And it's funny because I was going to use the jacuzzi. And then I texted Chris Gordon, another comic, about, I was flexing. I was like, dude, look at this. I got a fucking fireplace jacuzzi in Lethbridge, bro. In fact, that room was on the corner. I didn't even know you could do it. This room had like windows on 2 of the walls. Are you kidding me? I've never been in a hotel room that has windows on 2 of the walls. I didn't even know a room could go in a corner. My mind was blown, man. It's funny. That's how shitty some of the gigs are, that it's like, that's all it takes. And I'm like, wow. What am I? I'm a little princess out here. Comedy princess. And then I texted Chris and I was like, look at this jacuzzi. And as I was about to use it, he's like, yeah, that's got, think about every comic that comes through is using that thing. And immediately I got grossed out. And I barely even used it. I wish I had, because he's right. Every comedian who's come through has been in that jacuzzi. Dude, I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're not doing. But as soon as I had that thought in my head, I couldn't get it out. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, dude. I don't know how, because then I was thinking, I'm like, how much do they even clean this shit? Right? Like, let's be honest. How, they're not getting in there scrubbing the jets. Who knows what's living inside of that shit? Right? They're going to give it the old wipe. But if someone was in there, like someone checked out the same day, Lord knows. Lord knows what happens in the Lethbridge jacuzzi room. Now, did I use jacuzzi? Yeah, I did. Still busted because I'm not going to not do it. Come on, man. This was my one chance, my one shot to have a jacuzzi room. And fortunately, it actually was good timing because I pulled something in my back, which is so fucking annoying. I was on my run. When was this? 2 weeks ago. I was trying to do 35 kilometers. God, this still irritates me. 35 kilometers. I got to 26 kilometers. And all of a sudden, I started having something like tightening and on my back, on my right side. I could just feel a little pinch, but it wasn't anything specific. I didn't like, I mean, I'm trying to remember back now, but there definitely wasn't like, I didn't roll anything. I didn't slip or anything like that. Like there wasn't a single incident where I was like, oh shit, that happened. Now this hurts. It was just a slowly over time throughout that very last part of the run, it started hurting. And so I stopped at like 26. And I don't think that I stretched. I'm trying to remember back, but I don't think I did. I think I just stopped for a minute, probably took a leak. Because that's what you got to do. And then I kept going. And as I kept going over the next 3 kilometers, it just started getting tighter and tighter and tighter. So I stopped at 28 kilometers. And then I paused for, I don't know, a couple minutes. And as soon as I tried to resume, I was like, oh, yeah, I can't even run anymore. Just something in my back. I don't know. So it's been annoying. I had to stop. And then also, I fucked up because I didn't bring. This was another good lesson to learn. I didn't have my phone on me. I didn't have a wallet. Nothing. Literally, I leave the house and I bring my Garmin, like my Garmin watch, running watch has all my music on it. So that I use that to play the music, and then I bring keys, and that's it. Sometimes I don't even bring house keys, bro. Sometimes I leave that shit unlocked. Cause don't you know I'm loco? I'll leave that shit unlocked and I'll go for a run. Hit me up. Because that's what I live. I live that crazy life. I'm taking risks. I'm in jacuzzis out here. That's the life I'm living. So anyway, I'm out there. I pull something in my back. I'm not even close to being home. And all of a sudden it occurred to me, I'm like, I am completely helpless. I can't call anyone. And I'm like, what do I do? Now, fortunately, I wasn't in the middle of nowhere, which was a frightening thought about that to think about afterwards. Fortunately, I was actually pretty close to downtown. And so I ended up just hopping on the C train, which is, in Calgary, that's like our subway train that goes above the ground. Isn't that so cute? Yeah, we've got a little subway that goes above the ground. And people get hit by it because they're not looking. Yeah, so apparently they did think about one time putting our above ground subway train underneath. But I guess it's something with the geological formation. It doesn't work. Something with, I thought it was like filling up with water. It's the water table, dude. It's the fucking water table, bro. How annoying is that? You can't even dig a hole nowadays without the water table getting in the way. Fuck you, water table. And I don't think we need you. You know what I mean? I remember in school they would give all the props to the water table because it gives, water to the trees. But what is it? I actually used to think there was literally, I think it's just, like the water table is water, but it's not like a lake, right? It's just in the soil. It's just damp. And some people, I apologize for using that word because some people don't like that word, damp. In fact, I don't think I like it. Even just saying it right now, damp. Ugh. So anyway, I pull something in my back. Fortunately, I'm downtown. I take the train home. And then it occurred to me, I'm like, there's so many times I'm out there, like in the middle of nowhere, essentially, especially when I'm doing a longer run, anything above 21 kilometers. I mean, there's periods where I'm literally, I'm on a trail, I'm on a path, but I'm in the middle of the boonies. Like there's nothing around, and I'm like, I never have my phone. So if something like this happened, I would be completely fucked. And I was going out there when we had a cold snap, and it was like minus 40, and I was running around out there, no phone, nothing. If I rolled my ankle, legit, that would be it. And I don't want to be the guy. Dude, I think I would rather freeze to death than have to go around to people and ask for their phone. Like literally, from a social embarrassment standpoint, I think I would literally rather freeze to death than have to walk around and ask people to use their phone. Especially when I tell them I just didn't bring mine. And they call me an idiot, and they should. I go, sorry, can I use your phone because I didn't bring mine? Because I like to come out here and roll the dice every day because I live that jacuzzi life, baby. I live that corner jacuzzi life. So fortunately, I was able to take public transit home. Now, that was a bit frightening because you have to have a mask. This was the other thing. I didn't have a mask. So I'm out there. I'm injured. I can't run. I got to get home. I don't have a phone, so I can't do an Uber. I don't have a wallet, so I can't pay for a ticket to even go on the train. So I had to ride dirty. And if there's any peace officers listening, it's too late, dude. Come at me. That's right. I rode for free, baby. I rode that train for free. And I don't regret it. I don't regret it. Because that was my only option. No phone, no wallet, and not even a mask. I was like, I can't even go into a place. So I had to like roll dirty on the train, not pay for a ticket, badass, and then not wear a mask. And I really thought, I wasn't sure if I was going to get heat or not. Like, because I don't want to be, you know what I did? Is I made my body language very passive, as if to show I'm not anti-mask. I wasn't trying to make a statement, okay? I'm just trying to ride public transit home. I don't have a mask. And the thing about the mask is, it's sort of a chicken and the egg situation. If you want a mask, you have to have a mask to get a mask. Because the masks are inside. You got to wear a mask to go get a mask. So if you don't have a mask, no mask, you can't get a mask. You could ask a stranger for a mask if you want to be that. That's grosser. That's grosser than being naked in a jacuzzi that everyone else has been. Stranger mask? The fuck out of here. So anyway, yeah, I had to ride no mask. Surprisingly, no one gives a shit. That's what you learn is so funny. We get so psyched out in our heads about this stuff, and especially since, you see all these videos with people, freaking out, punching each other on airplanes, all that type of shit, and you think that's what it's going to be like. And then you get into the real world where you realize that is just stuff that's been condensed by the news, and the real world, pretty peaceful. The real world, pretty chill. Real world, pretty chill. No one gave a shit. And again, I think part of it was the body language. I stood non-threatening. I stood in a way that was not like I even put my shoulders down a little bit. I tried to look a little downtrodden. I wanted a little empathy, a little sympathy. And then I'm not going to make a scene. So that's what I had to do. So now, I have been hurt since that run, basically. I mean, I've been hobbling. Last week, I literally, was doing, and if anyone runs, you'll realize what this even means, but I was doing like a 9-minute kilometer the next day, barely able to move, right? Now, each day it's been getting a little bit better, fortunately, but it is annoying because, it's derailing. I've lost 2 weeks of training, basically, because of this. Today, it was actually a little bit worse than yesterday, so I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I might have to go to physio. I've been trying to avoid, because I was hoping it would just fix itself, but it's been 2 weeks. It's still sore. I've been doing stretches. I believe what I did was I've sprained the gluteus medius, which is on the side, because I did some research and just with where the pain is and what stretches help. I believe that's what it is. So it's a lot of like twisting type thing to do stretches, but it's just annoying, man. It is annoying, and you realize how debilitating it is when you're in pain when you have to, like, I've just been shuffling and it's just fucking annoying more than anything, right? I do feel bad for people with chronic pain because it really does impact your mood. I mean, for me, now I'm not even getting the endorphin rush that I would normally get. I don't know if it's an endorphin rush, but I'm not getting the, the chemicals, the serotonin, whatever you get from doing these big long runs, because I have to, only do 5K now per day, which is basically just to keep the run streak alive, which I also considered breaking. I've been on a run streak now for 400 something days, 420, 430, something like that. And then I was like, shit, should I just stop? Because there was a couple of those runs, especially the days right after, dude, I could barely move. And it's this pain that's right above my ass on my right side. And so it's when you put the foot down. Actually, it's pretty good. It only hurts when I lift my foot up or put it down. So that's pretty good. It only hurts 2 times. If I lift it or put it down. Other than that, not that bad. But it's fucking annoying, man. And just psychologically, it's like, especially when I was doing all this training, I was doing 125 kilometers per week. I was building momentum in the first 2 weeks of January, coming into the new year. And then to pull something and be injured is, I would say physically, it's obviously difficult to hobble and it's annoying. But it's more emotionally, it's more difficult because you're dealing with, I just want to run. I enjoy running. It's like there's something you really want to do that you enjoy and now you can't. It's a tough thing to deal with, So anyway, it's getting a little bit better each day. And I tell you, in Lethbridge last week, that's why it was nice to have the jacuzzi, because I literally, like Saturday, I went for a quick little run, could barely hobble. And then I just sat basically in my hotel room the whole day and just stretched. I just stretched. And I think it helped. I think it's one of those things. It's never clear to me whether stretching is helping or making it worse. And that's why I've been hesitant. I guess maybe I should just go to physio, but it feels like I stretch and then it feels worse, but then the next day it gets better. I don't know. If that makes sense, I don't know. Maybe it's getting blood flow in there. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where it has to get worse before it gets better. I don't know. But that's basically all I did on Saturday. And I think it made a difference for Sunday. So anyway, I don't know. I'm hoping, I'm really hoping that it's going to be good to go by the end of this weekend. And then I can start doing, running again and start training again. That's all I want to do, man. Come on, man. Is that too much to ask? That's too much to ask? All I want to do is just train, baby. But in a way, so it sort of did work out timing-wise, though, ironically, because we pulled the trigger. We got a new puppy last Friday. So it has been nice to be home and be able to do. By the way, I don't know if you're not working from home, I do not know how you raise a puppy. I have no idea. The only reason we are able to do it is because we're here all day. Like, you have to take them out every, hour and a half. You have to have a routine for them, because you don't want to have them just in their crate all day. I do not know how you do it. When you look at the old world and where working from home basically didn't exist, it's amazing to me that people were able to train dogs. But I don't know how you do it at all. Like, if both people are working and you got this puppy, it's kind of sad for the dog too, because then it's sitting in a crate all day. You stole him from his mom, from his siblings, and then you bring him home to your hellhole, and you just stick him in a crate all day? Traumatic. No wonder he hates you. So I don't know how you do it. Thank God we are still at home while we're doing this. And yeah, man, it's a lot of work. These little goofs, these puppies, man, they trick you. When we went and saw, so what it is we got a mini boxer, which I believe one of the parents is a boxer, and then the other one is a half and half between a Boston Terrier and a boxer. That's the exact dog that we like, because it's a little bit, we have a Boston Terrier right now. We love our Boston Terrier. We love them. They're great. They're goofy. That's what we like. Short hair so they don't shed, but they're very smart too. And this one is exactly what we're looking for, because he's a bit bigger. He'll be a bit more rugged. And his colors are super cool. He's got brindle, which I think is really cool. He's got brindle. Why did I say it like that? See about brindle. That does sound like something like an annoying, like something an annoying white chick would say. It's not brown, it's brindle. Oh my God, these boots are brindle. Can I have them? So he is brindle, but he is brindle. I'll tell you that. And yeah, he's been a little. It's funny, man, because when you go see the puppy. Like I picked him up, right? And I give the lady, I meet the lady in the parking lot. We're doing a dog deal. Okay. I meet her at the mall. We're doing a dog deal. You pick him up, and I just basically put him in his carrier, his little crate, and brought him home. And the guy, he didn't make a sound. He didn't really move. When I brought him into the house, I couldn't even get him to come out of the crate, which I realize is because he's afraid. I mean, think about it. It is traumatic. If you're the puppy, you're like, buddy, I don't even know what the hell's going on. I'm new to the world. Okay. The only thing I knew was my parents, my siblings, and then this breeder, this lady, and now this guy is loading me up into it's basically a Honda Civic, let's be honest. And he's driving me somewhere. And then he's popping me down in the cage. He wants me to play? So he was scared. He was really scared, very timid, didn't want to come out. I couldn't even get him out, right? I'm not going to rip him out of the thing. I don't want him to, his first experience with me to be me just fucking ripping him out of a kennel, but he was sitting in there like shaking with anxiety, right? And I felt really bad. So what do? I just laid there with him, and I just sat around, and then slowly, he started slowly becoming a little more comfortable. And I took him out, and I just laid there with him on the floor. And he was shaking, and he was so scared. And then I swear to God, it was like a light bulb went off. Like it was like a switch. Like 5 minutes into it, he looked at me, and he said, okay, I'm comfortable, and now I'm a fucking psycho. And then he just went bananas. Then he went crazy. And by the time his mom got home, Jen, he was already bouncing off the walls. He was going wild. They trick you, because the puppies, you think when you meet them, they seem so calm and they seem so polite. And then the second they become comfortable, they're absolute psychos. And that's what this guy is. Now, the nice part is he does chill out quite a bit. So he kind of goes through these, it's a roller coaster all day. Like he's super hyper at certain points. And then other times he just turns into a complete noodle. And I just hold him in my arms at my desk, and he just falls asleep, which is really nice. So it hasn't been as crazy as I was thinking. The number one thing is the potty training a dog is a real bitch. It's a real bitch in the ass, as I like to say, because they don't know this dumb. Like you take them out. Even today, I took him out. I go, you go pee pee, go poo poo. Nothing. I walk him up and down the block, and he doesn't even really like to walk yet. And then the second I bring him back in, I bring him up to my office, immediately takes a piss. I'm like, dude, come on, bro. What, you don't know? You don't speak English? You don't pee in here? Does this look like a jacuzzi hotel room to you? I don't think so, but don't bring that shit up in here. If puppies came potty trained, I think that would be then it's just fun time. You just play. It's just this constant fear that he's going to take a dump or that he's going to pee. That's the most annoying part. That's the toughest part, I think. You just don't know. And the first thing he did when we left him alone for even a second was he did a huge diarrhea, like all over the floor in our basement. We set up this pen, which, by the way, he doesn't even use. It's hilarious. So we lived for 1 second because someone was at the door. We come back down, and dude, it just looked like somebody it looks like someone was doing modern art. Yeah, it looked like he did like an interpretive art on the tiles for us, which was really fun. And stunk up our whole house, I swear to God, for 3 days. I actually think I still smell it a little bit. When you have a puppy, you're just like, everything smells like poo now. Everything. I just feel like there's poo everywhere. So anyway, that was part of the reason I think I missed the episode last week, was because it's just so crazy. We got this new dog coming in, and the old dog not so happy, and I don't blame him, right? That's dramatic for him too. Think about you're being the only dog, and all of a sudden this other guy shows up one day, and you're like, what the fuck is this? That was the exact, I swear to God, that was the exact look. When I came into our house, and our older dog, our Boston Terrier, was sitting in his cage. The second he saw the kennel, I don't even think he saw the new dog in the kennel. The second he saw the kennel, I'm telling you, his face was like, what the fuck? He's going, no one asked me about this. No one even really warned me. He's going, I was pretty suspicious when I saw all these toys coming over. When I saw you guys setting up a pen in the basement, I had a feeling something was going down. But what is that? He just looked at the kennel. He's like, what is that? And I don't blame him. And then we set up this pen in the basement thinking the puppy would just play in there by himself. That was the most naive thing we've ever done. He freaks out. Unless you're in the pen with him, he freaks out. So after all this stuff we did, we laid down like tiles, like these waterproof tiles. We actually here's what we did. We put painting plastic underneath, like all over the carpet. Then we put these like waterproof interlocking tiles from Home Depot down. Then we put 2 cages, because one was not big enough, 2 as a perimeter around the outside of this thing, thinking this is where his number one spot's going to be, and he doesn't even use it, and he can't because he'll just freak out. So then his spot ends up just being my office after all that. It's a wild world out here, baby. And by the way, PetSmart might be the worst store of all time. PetSmart is one of those stores when you go in, you're like, how is this still? First of all, how is it still around? Because literally, again, I mean, I guess this is the case with almost any store. You can order all that shit online, and I think it's cheaper. Like PetSmart's pretty expensive, man. Their website is horrendous, and you go in, and it's like no one has done a renovation for 30 years. We went to PetSmart to try and get a gate for the dog. A dog gate. Didn't have it. We go, where's the dog gate? They go, we don't have that. I'm like, this is a pet store. Your only job is to have the pet things. And they're like, we don't have it. And they didn't give a shit. They didn't have it. So then we found this fence that can kind of go around. And guess what? They only have one. So I asked the guy, I'm like, is there another one? And he's like, no. I'm like, is there anything in the back? Because that's what we always have to ask, right? Is there anything in the back? You know what I think? I think a lot of times there is stuff in the back. But they do the math in their head. They're like, if I say yes, I have to go back there. I have to get a ladder. I have to look something up in a binder. So I think just literally out of I'm not getting paid enough to go track this item down for you attitude, which is fair enough. I got to respect it. A little bit got to respect it. I think that literally is what drives because this guy was just like, no, we don't have anything in the back. I'm like, really? Like, he said nothing. The only thing they have in the back is dog food. I'm like, wow. In my head, I'm like, this must be the most efficient supply chain operation of all time. They don't even have inventory at this store. You want to talk about just-in-time inventory? This is a well-oiled, lean machine here. You don't got nothing in the back. I don't believe it. So they go, but here's the funniest part. We go, like, can we get the gate? Is there another one? No. We're like, do the other stores have it? And he's like, I don't know. And we're like, can you look it up? And I swear to God, you know what the guy says? He says, what I would do if I was you is I would call around to the other PetSmarts and see if they have the gate. I'm like, what the fuck? Dude, what world is this? You want me to call around? Now, listen, I would accept that answer if it was 1994 and there wasn't internet yet. Then I say, yeah, you know what? Let me go get my landline at home and I'll call around to these PetSmarts. Let's do it. But hey, sir, given this is the year 2022, I don't know if you heard, the internet, like, you guys don't have some type of internal system? I think he literally told us we don't have a system. So anyway, bro, if you're investing in companies, I would short PetSmart right away. That's all I'm going to say. I would short PetSmart. I don't like the business model. I don't like the attitude. I don't like the lack of stock. And here's the even funnier part. We get this gate home. We go online to see if the other stores have it. You can't even find the brand that we bought from this PetSmart isn't even on their website. What the fuck is going on? Damn, dude. I can't believe I'm beefing with PetSmart out here. I don't know how it still exists. Although, it is fun for the dogs to go in. Could you imagine, dude? Imagine your life as a dog, right? You maybe have a couple toys. You get a new one every now and then if you're lucky. And then you go into PetSmart and everything is a toy. Dude, I don't know how they don't lose their mind. And think about like when you're a dog, if you even smell one other dog, that's exciting. You go to PetSmart and you smell every dog. I can't even think of what. I don't even know, dude. That's like living, growing up in a library, and then immediately, like, your next stop is just the middle of a monster truck rally. And that's probably the worst analogy I've ever done in my whole life. That doesn't even make sense. So anyway, that's what's been going on, man. We got this puppy, and that's a huge thing. And yeah, what a great time to have a back injury, because I got to keep bending down, picking up the puppy. I'm loading. I think that's probably why it's not even getting better. Honestly, I think because I'm moving around so much, I'm laying down with the puppy. It's probably making it worse. Ugh. Come on, man. All I want is a jacuzzi in my house now. All I want is to be able to run again, and all I want is this puppy to be potty trained. That's all I want. Is that too much to ask? Is that too much to ask? Oh! Anyway, lots of stuff going on, by the way. I saw that Hugh Hefner. I don't know, dude. I haven't even read up on this. I will for next episode. But I saw, like, essentially they're trying to cancel him. They're doing the cancellation of Hugh Hefner, which to me is like, yeah, like, they're coming out with all these allegations. I haven't seen specifics, but I could guess. Dude, I could guess. It's fucking Hugh Hefner. Like, the fact that anyone would be surprised that it's like, oh, there's some shady shit happened at the Playboy Mansion. It's like, oh yeah, do you mean, and they're like, apparently I guess he was a bit of a pervert. It's like, dude, do you think? Apparently Hugh Hefner, a bit of a perv. Oh, do you think the guy who built not only did he like build a business based on nudity, hot chicks being nude, borderline photo porn. Is Playboy considered softcore? Anyway, dude, you know what I'm talking about. That's his whole fucking business. Not only did he build that, but then he also has an infamous house where apparently there's just chicks all the time. And by the way, I gotta say, that would drive me crazy. Okay? All jokes aside, it's like, yeah, would that be fun for a week? Yeah. Maybe even 2 weeks. I don't know how you could constantly have, like, unless he's one of these, some people can't be alone, and maybe that's what he had. He just couldn't be alone. I'm the opposite, dude. I was like, dude, 3 weeks of that, I don't even care how hot the chicks are. I'd be like, everyone, get the fuck out, okay? Just I need some time to myself, okay? Every time I come down the stairs, we got Jello shots. There's always noise. You guys are up all night yelling. I can't even enjoy my pool because you guys are in there chicken fighting. Yeah, it was funny the first time. You're splashing water everywhere. It's a constant mess. Okay? People are going in and out of my room. I need all y'all to leave. I think I would end up kicking everyone out. There's no way. How can you constantly have strangers and stuff in your house? How could you do that? I would lose my mind. But anyway, it's hilarious to think like, oh, some sketchy shit happened. This guy might have had, yeah, dude. His whole business was basically to be around chicks. Now, I'm not saying obviously I'm not validating it or saying it's good what he did, but I'm saying, could there be a less surprising, right? Could there be a less surprising tale? I don't know, bro. This is like finding out like Neil Armstrong has, space artifacts in his house. It's like, yeah, dude. Yeah, that was his whole thing. Oh my God. That was another pretty bad analogy. I'm sorry, bro. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best out here. And that's it, man. We got a lot of stuff next week. I can't wait for these Olympics. That's going to be fun. I'm excited. I saw that China blamed us for Omicron, which is fucking hilarious. China literally said that Omicron came to them from a piece of mail sent from Canada, which is the funniest. How could you even say that with a straight face? And by the way, even if it's true, they want empathy? Huh? They want us to feel sad for them? Sorry about sending you Omicron. Sorry about that. Did we inconvenience you? Huh. Say no more, fam. All right, I'm off to go do a show tonight. I'm at Yuck Yucks hosting for Eddie Ift, and then I will be in Medicine Hat tomorrow at the Mad Hatter Comedy Club. So if you hear this in time and you know anyone in Medicine Hat or you live in Medicine Hat, come to the shows. That'll be really fun. I'm in Edmonton, February 18, 19. Trying to read from here. And I am in Calgary, headlining the Yuck Yucks Calgary, February 25th and 26th. And then I'm trying to line some stuff up for March right now, so stay tuned. Thanks again for tuning in. And get out there and just, what do we always say? Live your special truth. You're so special. Okay. Bye-bye.